Hey guys, my running kid here. How's everybody doing out there? Back again for a review. Like I told you guys on my Twitter, the opening is back. I hope you guys enjoyed the opening. Um, Now, first let me answer this question because I got a question once, and somebody asked me. Got a question about maybe a couple of days ago, asking me, since he follows me and he follows Gabi. He's like, how come you don't have like characters like that on your reviews? Like, is there a Earth 2, Chris? And this? Is there an ultimate version of yourself? No, not that I know of. The, my alter egos, you don't really want to be around too much. I would never have Hurricane actually do a full review because it's not healthy. Um, I'll probably lose subscribers if I did. And I dare not bring Lawrence out because I don't. He's behind several mental blocks. I don't bring him out at all. Somehow he sneaks out somehow, and then he likes to take creepy pictures and stuff. I don't know where it comes from, but he does it. But I do have a friend that is coming soon. Um, that will do some reviews. You know, he'll come on and do reviews for certain characters that he likes. His name is Lynx, and he happens to be a professional. Oh, I can't say that. Yeah, you don't want to know what he does. I saved his life once, so patched him back up. But let's get on to the reviews for this week. For the week of the what was this? The 14th or 23rd or one? I'm lost. But we're gonna kick it off in indie books, and I just dropped one of my books. Um, Thank you. All right, so we'll kick this off in Dynamite. Red Sonja, number 14. Gail Simone still does a fantastic job with this. Was it perfect? No. The curse is still fully in effect with Sonja. Her not forgiving. And she'll go into this blind rage, and she really lives up to that she-devil monarch that she has. This book gets really intense when the fact is she finds the man who murdered her family, the last of the men that murdered her family, the last guy that got away from her. And oh boy, right there was just like, and I've seen this kind of storytelling before where the guy did something bad in the past, but he seemed to have reformed. He doesn't do that stuff no more. And the main and the yeah, and the main protagonist is more like, I don't care what you did. You may have changed, but still, what you did in the past. I've seen this kind of storytelling before. As always, we've seen a lot of situations where the storytelling has been told before, but it's just how writers execute it. And Miss Simone executes it pretty well, and I didn't mind it. But there are some more consequences even between that because of the fact that the person that cursed Red Sonja has a brother, and he wants to know who killed his brother and where can I find this person. So yeah, Sonja's not out of the woodwork. Move on to Legendary Comics. We move on to Epochalypse, number 3. Hennessy and Shane Davis. As I said before, this book just keeps getting trippier and trippier, and we get more insight into the main character as well as the person that they've been looking for since the first issue. And we're only 3 issues into this really trippy book where the past, the present, and the future kind of are all wrapped up into one in this crazy world. And if you do something wrong, these cops, like Judge Dredd like characters, come after you. But it's better to read it than for me to really kind of give my intake on it, because it gets really weird at times, very much. But there is a guy in here. Like last time, there was a guy in here who looked like Bruce Willis with the eye patch on. In this one, if I'm not mistaken, there's a guy in here that he looks like another actor. I'm trying to, where is it? Oh, here you go. What does that look like? Will Smith, right? Yeah. All right. Move on to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 42. Mr. Eastman, Waltz, Smith, Patterson continue to grace us with this book. This is just really a setup of there's a battle coming between Shredder and Krang. And the Turtles are also in the mix of it as well. Hence, because there's a detail that Donatello has kind of made a pact with Shredder. We also get to know some more about, that there was something that we didn't know when we thought, okay, Donnie kind of left his brothers, and just said, screw all y'all. You're worried so much. You're so obsessed with the Shredder. He's not the big bad that we need to worry about. We get to see something here that actually showcases that they haven't forgotten about that. And even the Shredders, even the Shredder, even the Turtles, even call Master Splinter out on it, and even say, Master, you're so obsessed with the Shredder that you've overlooked the bigger threat. And it was really good, well told in this. I very much enjoyed it. Shredder has made sure, like, if Donnie screws him, then Bebop and Rocksteady will beat the crap out of him. He left Bebop and Rocksteady with Donnie because he can teleport them to where Krang is. But other than that, it was really good. Good storytelling. The drama's there. Even a little side story that's going on with April. It was good. So that's IDW. Last IDW, guys. Snake Eyes. Agent of Cobra. Sorry, that took a while to get out. Mike Costa and who does the artwork here? Paolo Villanelli. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, sir. Everybody knows I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up with G.I. Joe. There's still today where I will watch the original G.I. Joe cartoon on, well, it's not called the Hub anymore. They call it now under Discovery something now. I forgot the name of it. But I will still watch that and love it. Snake Eyes was always one of my favorite G.I. Joe members. I was always a ninja mark. So once I saw this guy, I'm like, ooh, who's this guy? This guy's great. To see this, ladies and gentlemen, to see Snake Eyes, Agent of Cobra, just is like Mike Costa dug into my heart and pulled it right out. Now, was it bad? No, it wasn't. I'm gonna lie, it wasn't bad, but it hurt to see when Snake Eyes, I'll spoil this for you, Snake Eyes breaks Destro out of prison and literally unsheathe his sword, and instead of seeing the Aroshikage insignia on his sword, you see the Cobra insignia, and I'm like, what are you doing, Snake Eyes? Like, what are you doing? But other than that, it was good. I did enjoy it, Mr. Koska. Not saying I hated it, but it's going to be really tough for me to pronounce this title. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to be really tough. All right. So let's move on to the next title. We'll move on to Marvel and all new X Factor number 20. Got the Valiant cover here. Nice cover. I'm gonna say this: as much as I'm pissed off that Marvel wants to cancel this, Mr. David leaves this title wide open to it for it can return. Somebody could easily pick back up the slack where he left off with this. Personally, I would want Mr. David to continue. But in this issue alone, it's more about what Servile is up to. We do get a guest star in here. I'm not going to spoil who that is. We get some more information between with Danger and Warlock. Oh my God, that was sick. That was crazy. And of course, Pietro leaves a message for Lorna for his sister. I don't care what. Yes, his sister, and tells her that he's returning back to. He's taken Luna and his daughter and returning back to the Avengers. As you all know, he's going to be a part of the new version of the Uncanny Avengers. Am I going to pick that title up? Yes. I'm actually interested, and I like that lineup. That lineup is pretty interesting. But other than that, good setup. It leaves you with a big open slate, like somebody could pick it back up. I very much enjoyed, once again, another solid run, Mr. David. I wish it was longer, very much. And Servile was, you could tell he's just the stuff he says in this is just like, wow. All right, move on to all new X-Men number 35. Bendis, do a good job on this. Yes, you do. It seems like the team is, it's time to find everybody. Jean help locate people that have been lost, including Hank, who is still with Victor Von Dam, Ultimate Doctor Doom. And it becomes a sense of both X-Men teams joining forces along with Miles to get Hank. Doom has Hank under his control chemically wise, and the team needs to get to him. The funniest thing is seeing both Bobbies interact with each other. Was really funny how Ultimate Bobby, I think, says like, "Man, look what you did! You ruined my reputation," and things like that. It was really funny. And of course, both Jeans, like literally, kind of can call them sisters, but it was really good to see. And Warren finding out that the Ultimate Warren is dead and things like that. It was a lot of stuff in this was just so funny. I loved Miles' interaction with X-23 and what he calls her. What he calls Laura was funny. He said, I think he called her Lady Wolverine, and she said, if you call me that again, you're going to lose something. I thought that was funny. But it ends on a cliffhanger, like, ooh. But it was good. All right. Amazing Spider-Man number 713. Yes, I won't call it 13. You probably saw this in the opening. Yeah, I love this cover. Beautiful cover. This is part 5 of Spider-Verse. And we find out that the world that Silk went to, that was kind of like a post-apocalyptic nuclear bombing, we find out the totem, or the spider person there, is none other than, and I'm going to spoil this for you guys, is, believe it or not, Uncle Ben. In that world, Uncle Ben was bitten by the spider. Peter made his costume, and Uncle Ben went on to be Spider-Man for a while. Got a lot of respect from the police, everything like that, until, of course, we've seen this kind of storytelling before, where a villain who he says dressed up like a pointy-eared elf, we're talking about a goblin here, found out about his identity and killed Peter and May. Blew up the house. And pretty much Mr. Slott basically is painting a picture of Spider-Man no more and all that. You can clearly see it in this. And it's pretty much where he has been staying in this bunker because he won't do it anymore. He's given up. We get to see some deaths in here, and I'm not going to ruin whose deaths we see. But it was, I didn't expect those people to die, but yeah, they did. And I didn't expect that person to be taken out. I will say that one of the inheritors is killed, and I'm talking about the big bad, the big daddy inheritor. You know, Moreland's father. I'll spoil that for you. He gets killed. He dies. Who kills him? I'm not gonna spoil who that was. But we also get more in depth into the scrolls that Spider-Woman gave Peter, and it's Ayana Corazon, Spider-Girl, who is able to translate it. What else did I want to say? That Silk and Gwen go off. Once again, Silk just goes off, you know, just goes off like the stupid that she is. And that's pretty much it. Don't want to spoil a lot for you guys. But it was good nonetheless. I can tell you right now, as always, the last dialogue was really good. Brought back memories for me. And as always, Ock being a fucking dick, as always. But I will tell you this. The person responsible for the way Ben Parker, the Ben Parker's world is Otto Octavius. Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy, number 23. Bendis just seems to just have fun with this title. That's pretty much all. The main gist of this issue is simple. It's all about the symbiote. This felt so much like the Predators, in a sense. We find out, because how many of you out there know that the Predator aliens from the Predator movies has their actual real name? How many of you out there know that and know their name? I do. We find out that the symbiotes actually have a real name. They're called the Kalintar. That's what they're called. And they brought the Guardians to their world. And we get really in depth into, Bendis really starts to really in depth into why, when the symbiote gets host with somebody, it may turn out monstrous, things like that. I thought that was really interesting. You start to question now why Cletus Cassidy turned out the way he did, why Eddie Brock Venom turned out the way, not just because of the vengeance, but also other things, and why it started to happen with Peter Parker. and things like that. But it was pretty decent, very interesting, and I applauded Bendis for that, trying to give us a little bit more in-depth storytelling for the Kalantar instead of the symbiotes. I'll probably still call them the symbiotes, but because the real world, their real name is gonna take a lot to get used to. But um, we find out that they have been watching Flash for a long time, and that right there, I was kind of like, that's kind of a little bit really like, okay, if y'all been watching him for so long, why didn't you come to him sooner? Things like that. But Flash gets the symbiote gets upgraded pretty much, and Flash looks great, looks cool. But I will agree with everybody. He does look like one of Ben 10's aliens. He looks like not Chroma Stone. He looks like the Gemini, the green Gemini crystal guy. That's who he looks like. I'm trying to remember his name. I can't remember it. But other than that, it was fun. And then at the end of what was going on, where Carol contacts Peter and tells him, "What the hell have you been up to?" And then you see Peter Quill is the new leader of the is the new president of the Spartax Empire, and it's just kind of funny. Black Widow, number 14, Edmondson, great job. Black Widow is still on the trail of this secret organization known as Chaos, and Edmondson does a beautiful job of showcasing to the audience and to the reader that why Natasha is the way she is, why she doesn't let her emotions show, and if they do show, she's really confused about a lot of things. Why she doesn't get too close to anybody. It's just a whole lot of stroke in this. We find out that this organization, Chaos, seems to be even more secretive and has a lot of pull than AIM, Hydra, the Secret Empire. Any criminal organization in the Marvel Universe, they got nothing on Chaos. And it was just beautifully done, and you were just like, wow. Black Widow. Captain America and the Mighty Avengers, number 4. Ewan and Ross pick up right where where Axis left off. People are now judging Sam because of what his inverted self did. Sam's taking it really hard. Monica Rambeau actually tries to consult him. Pretty much does a good job. As for Victor Alvarez, Power Man, and White Tiger, they're still on the case of who murdered Gillian Mace. This is the same person that murdered White Tiger's brother. I believe it was his brother, her brother, Ayana's brother, yeah. The Hector, the original White Tiger. And one thing I like about Victor Alvarez is that he can sense chi, and he uses it as a forensic field. He's like, the one thing I love about New York is it has a lot of chi, and he's looking at everybody's chi, and he's like, okay, there were 2 people here, and he's seeing this stuff that happened maybe over 20, 30 years ago, and he can see it. He can still sense that the chi is still there, and he's working with these detectives and things like that. It's really good stuff. The other story that's going on is Luke Cage is still trying to figure out who this guy, what was his name? Jason Quantrill, who is the CEO of a company known as Cortex. Mr. Quantrill doesn't know that Luke is now back to his self. So Luke is still playing up the role that he's still inverted. And he's keeping in touch with Jessica and telling him, I got to stay on this, Jess. And Jessica's like, look, you don't have to do this alone. let us help you. You know, we miss you, things like that. But it was really well told. But at the end of the issue, you get to a sense that maybe Quantrill knows more than he's letting on. We get to see that uh, Sam realizes that, you know what, not everybody is against him, and he will earn everybody's trust back as Captain America. But other than that, solid issue. Talk about another solid issue, Elektra, uh, number 10. I think there are 2 more issues or 1 more issue left for this series. Why are you canceling this, Marvel? Blackman, Elektra, with the help of a kind of a site, goes inside Bullseye's head. And you could see all these trophies that Bullseye has. And one of them that he holds, that he cherishes the most, is a statue of when he killed Elektra. But Elektra is still on the trail. What she wants to know from Bullseye is who leads the Guild of Assassins. And we do get to see who leads the Guild of Assassins, and it really surprised me. Very much surprised me of who it was when Elektra comes face to face with this person. And I say person, it is a female, and I was shocked to see because I didn't expect that. If anybody wants to know, I won't tell it here, but give me a message. I'll tell you there. But the other big surprise is also the fact that Bullseye is back. He's fully healed thanks to the hand, and it's about to. Elektra is in for the fight of her life, and she wouldn't want it any other way. She gonna die. She gonna die her way, with her size in her hand, like a true warrior. Yeah, Elektra. Moon Knight, number 11. Brian Woods does a good job with this. Basically, Mooney, or Mark, whatever you like prefer, Mark is in custody, and he's in prison after his psychiatrist, who now has the blessings of Khonshu, set him up. She set him up lovely, and he is taking a fall. He gets shanked in the prison. He gets and while he's getting stitched back up, he's talking to Khonshu. Khonshu's right next to him, and he's talking to him, and he's telling Khonshu, why did you choose her? Like, why did you, she's playing you. And it's almost as if Khonshu's like, she was worthy, her vengeance and, things like that. I can use that. And, Mark is really in a point of like, you're, for a god, you're getting played, and you're stupid to think that. And she's going to abuse it. And, Khonshu starts to call Mark out on his bluff, like, she's not doing anything you hadn't done. And it was very interesting when I was like, okay. We find out that the prison that Mark is in is literally 20,000 feet in the air. And it's not the shield, it's something else. And when he sees it, it kind of ends on that dun 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 moment. And it's almost like, yeah, to be continued. But it was good. Alright. Scarlet Spiders, number 3. This is the final issue of the miniseries. That cover literally solidifies someone dies here. As you can see, the lines kind of like the and somebody's line, you can see it's going flatline. Costa does the writing here. Mike Costa, right? Costa does the writing here, and it's the clones versus Genets, the one of the inheritors who has a clone facility, and we really get an in-depth into one of the clones, definitely, about what he did. I'll spoil a little bit. One of the clone that I'm talking about is Ben Riley. Um, they get really in depth into what Ben Riley did after Peter kind of gave him the legacy. It even goes on to say that Ben got the thumbs up, basically the goodwill after he saved J. Jonah Jameson's wife. JJ really looked at him as a hero. He got his approval, something that Peter never got from JJ. And like, okay, but I'm not gonna spoil everything, guys. It was good, but I knew somebody was gonna die in this. I'm not gonna spoil who it is, but there is a death. One of the clones dies, and the other clone takes it very hard, and boy does he take it hard. And inheritors, you better beware. Now, as for this bad boy, SpiderVerse Team-Ups number 3, the first issue, the first story, which was written by Christos Gage, called Too Many Spider-Men, is basically some of the spider totems heading to another Earth. And what Earth is it? Earth 3123. And in that world, Aunt May is the spider character. And one of the inheritors wants Peter. He thinks it's Peter, but it's not. It's Aunt May. And of course, when the rest of the team, like Spider-Man UK, Spider-Man India, Spider-Girl, Spider-Punk, who is actually not even Peter Parker. It's actually, get this, Hobie Brown, the Prowler, is a Spider-Man. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Ashley Barton, who is Hawkeye's daughter from the Old Man Logan Earth, and they take on this inheritor, but actually, this inheritor, they do something different with this inheritor, and this inheritor acts very differently as well. It was good. Storytelling was good. The next storytelling was brought back Tom DeFalco and Ron Fentz as the writing staff. It was really cool because it was just featured all about Spider-Girl. Mayday Parker is called Bugged. And it was May still very upset about, Benji being taken. And she's like, your guys are not doing anything. So she storms off. And Uncle Ben, Spider-Man, goes after her. And it was really interesting to see kind of great, what do I call that? Great niece, I think. Grandniece or so, talking with uncle, the grand uncle, but great uncle, but I think that's what you would call it. Yeah. But it was kind of weird seeing Uncle Ben flipping around. He's older, guys. He's like Uncle Ben, but he's flipping around with the spider agility and everything like that. And it kind of made me like, okay, that's Uncle Ben. I swear to you guys, I was looking for a point where Uncle Ben did a somersault flip or something like that, and oh, I'm getting too old, or my lumbago or something like that. I swear I thought that was gonna happen, but it didn't. And that was really good storytelling because it involved the people that made Spider-Girl so popular to begin with. Tom DeFalco, who created her, along with Ron Fentz, and Sal Buscema was the artwork. So it was good. That was cool. I did enjoy it. And the last out of the still ties in the Spider is Spider-Woman number 3, hopeless, and man, he's leaving real soon. In this, we get to see in Lum World. That's where that's pretty much where Spider Girl is, Spider Woman, Jessica is, and she's pretty much Morlun's. Morlun, the way I look at it is, she's Morlun. Morlun is that world Spider Woman's sugar daddy. That's the best way I can describe it. He seems to know everything about her. And as for, we get to see Loom World's version of Mary Jane in this, and she's like head of the guards or something like that. And once again, just to get more info from the Great Weaver, that guy that you've been seeing, and he tells her all these secrets and things like that. And it gets even more when, once again, Jessica runs into her kiss-ass version, the version that Morlun thinks is her. And it's a pretty interesting fight, because then Gwen, Spider-Gwen, and Silk come to her aid, and but yeah, it was good, just fucking smiling. You know that, Land. Come on. Superior Iron Man number 4. Tom Taylor, sir, you still do a good job on this. Whatever is going on, we find out we find out from Daredevil, Matt Murdock, how the app, the what's it called, the Extremist 2.0 app really works, and why everybody feels so good, everybody looks all lovely and things like that. How Tony is doing this. Tony has infected San Francisco's water supply. Matt found out about it, and we get some more into Kid Abomination. Yeah, there's a Kid Abomination. Is this, look, he's a young kid, but he looks like the Abomination, just younger. And Tony don't like it. He's like, it's a stupid name. Why'd you call yourself that? What's your real name? I think his real name is Charlie or something like that. Wait, what is his name? What did he say his name was? Jamie. Yeah, there you go. Jamie. But once again, the confrontation between Tony and Matt, good stuff. And Tony, once again, just does something in this, and it's just like, you motherfucker. It's like, I can't believe you did that. He pulled, I will say this, he pulled the Men in Black on Matt. And it was just like, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you did that. And so basically, Tony's secret is safe. Literally, he wiped up. Let me tell you what he did. Literally, he wiped the memory of what Daredevil found about the Extremist 2.0 app. He wiped that memory from his mind, and then said, "Oh, you just fell. How you feeling, Matt? Things like that." And Matt can't remember anything. What the fuck? This title is still open for digital code if you want. To DC. Let's wrap this up, guys. I'm gonna wrap this up with DC. Green Lantern, New Guardians. I think this is coming to an end. The title is actually called isn't the title called It All Ends Here? It's a three-parter. The first part we get to see is Carol and Kyle meeting, and Carol telling Kyle that he loves her. She loves him, and Kyle's like, oh, I love you too, and things like that. Before a monster from the dead source wall, comes into play. Shit hits the fan, and it gets really intense from there. But once again, this plays up the kind of the aftermath of what went down with the new gods and everything like that. We also get to see that something bad is at the end happens to Kyle, and it's just like, oh shit. But it was good nonetheless. 38th issue of Wonder Woman. This is still the Finch's run. That cover solidifies a lot because, once again, you got to remember, Diana is the new god of war. And that plays up a lot in this series because, once again, it's still contemplating the fact that she's pulling a triple duty. Her responsibilities are all over the place. She wants to be a Justice League member. She wants to help the Justice League. Okay. And she's supposed to be Queen of the Amazons. Okay. And then, of course, she has the responsibility as the god of war, and that plays a big factor. We really get to see more of the human side of Diana in terms of, like, even though she is this great, powerful warrior, she's what some people call the embodiment of strength and beauty. She's still just one woman, and she can't do everything. And we get to see that a lot, and especially with her fellow Amazons, they start to really kind of contemplate, like, where were you when we needed you? And, a dragon or so comes to Themyscira and pretty much wipe out some of the Amazons. And the Amazon Council, is like, we need a leader. And when you see Diana having nightmares about her role as the god of war, even Batman starts talking about it like, so you're the god of war, huh? And she's like, is that what everybody wants to talk about while they're on a Justice League mission? And of course we get to see who is elected the new queen of the Amazons, and of course, if anybody should know, it's that person we saw, the new 52 version of Dr. Troy. The one thing I did like in this was the fact that when Diana is talking to one of her friends about why she doesn't lead the Amazons as a queen, she's like, she wanted the Amazons to further grow as a community and not just rely on the say of one person. That's why she created the council, and her friend is telling, yeah, that's good, but maybe it's way too fast because some of the Amazons are still stuck in the old ways. Sometimes you can't delete the old ways of some people's thinking, and with the Amazons, you can't rush that, and we get to see that in this very much. And of course, one of Diana's sisters, Strife, is watching everything and just kind of laughing at it. But this was good nonetheless. I loved how, like I said, I liked the human take of what the Finches are doing with Diana, and that's what really intrigues me the most, and how she's trying to juggle all these responsibilities. But it was good. Well, guys, that is it this week. I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching this, and leave your comments. What you think? What did you think of this week's books? Did you read anything? Of course, guys, leave your comments. Your comments count as entries into my contest and things like that. But other than that, this is Mama and Kid saying peace and love. Stay tuned, keep it real. Follow me on Twitter Facebook, Tumblr. Don't forget to follow me, bro, me mentor, Blue Goblin, the board and bag, bro, Mark, Mr. J. Still show some love and respect to the comic frontline. They're still good friends of mine. You know, just have fun. And I'll see you guys next time. Ta ta. For now.